All right, I'd like to welcome our faculty members who are here. Of course, we have our other Mesa director, Michael Garrity. We have our science department chair and biology instructor, Alexa Sawa. And we have math faculty and other things too. We have Jorge Perez. Who am I missing? Am I missing any faculty? I don't see any faculty. Of course, we have always helping us. We have Hillary behind the desk and the teacher. Part of the reason we had the meetings on Wednesday because she can actually hang here long enough to go to the meetings. And we also have computer science, I guess, at 1 o'clock in EVC on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We also have our ISAs here today. We have Efren Perez. I'm only announcing him first because he's kind of got seniority over our other ISA, Matt Jackson. Although Efren does not have an award named after him. So. We'll have to come up with it. All right. How many do we have? I don't. How many students? How many Mesa students at their first Mesa meeting? How many? Do we have any new ones? We have not too many newbies this time. Last time we had like quite a few, but again, maybe we're not getting any more new Mesa students right now. I kind of checked that because one thing I'll go through the protocol pretty fast. So if we have more things we want to discuss. Of course, our Mesa hours are roughly 8 to 9. The people who are kind of here are posted. Efren has the toughest assignment. He's here by himself after 5 o'clock. So please come in here. Use the Mesa Center in the evening. We really have to justify it. We've kind of got into that, but nobody seems like they study in the evenings. I mean, not nobody, but there's not very many people studying in the evenings. Maybe once the World Series is over, maybe we'll increase attendance at the Mesa Center in the evenings. We try to keep the Mesa Center quiet from the hours of 9 to 12. In the morning, of course. Somebody always, when I say that, says, is that at night or in? It'll be quiet from 9 to 12 at night too. How about that?
Maybe you should show the World Series here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of defeating the purpose of study time, isn't it?
We'll just put it on silent.
Yes. And 2 to 5 in the afternoon, we try to, again, it's always the study place, but we're trying to be mindful of those who are studying during that time, especially. But again, if you're studying and somebody's sitting at the table and they're, even if it's not those times, they're making a lot of noise, hey, I got a test in an hour. Can I have just and they'll probably say, well, go over there or something. No, I'm kidding. Mesa students are the best students on campus as far as I'm concerned. And they're always very respectful of every other Mesa student and every other student on campus. Okay, so again, if anything, as I always say, and again, I'm talking to a couple, if there's a couple new people here, if anything, if there's ever seems something, any frictional, don't pursue it. We have folks here, we have Efren, we have Matt, Hillary, we have Michael or me here. We can let us kind of just come in for a minute, talk to us, and we can figure out a better way to kind of smooth over the circumstance. We don't want any fist fights or anything in the Mesa Center. We've never had one, so hopefully we'll continue.
Let's not break the record.
Hopefully after the World Series.
All right. Fishbowl again is for workshops when they are scheduled. Okay. Occasionally I might have a student in there taking a test, and first thing in the morning I'll lock it up. I'll lock that door and hang a note on the door. Please respect just those brief times. And there's quite a bit of open time though, where you can just go in there and be in the fishbowl if you want. We're doing a very good job, I think, or maybe I should say Matt is doing a really good job keeping the fridge clean. He does empty it out pretty religiously on Friday. There seems to be, and everybody's catching on. There's less and less every Friday, I think, in terms of disposable items. I mean, he is, if it looks like something that you might want to keep, he'll put it out, set it out on the table, and we'll let it mold over the weekend and stuff, so that you can take it home on Monday when you come first thing.
Sounds delicious.
What else we need? Again, keep the Mesa Center clean. It's not Matt and Efren's job or my job or Hillary's job to clean up after you. Okay? So, again, Matt and Efren do a great job. I don't think Hillary's had any complaints about coming in the morning. You know, the old days when, we'd come in the mornings, the first thing, and there was a half a dozen empty cans and empty plates and all sorts of stuff left out. So again, I think everybody's doing a pretty good job. And again, you set an example by doing it yourself. And as I said already, the Mesa schedule is posted at both doors in terms of the work schedule. Workshop schedule is posted on the door of that room, and it's also, I think, did we get that posted on the Mesa site? That's on the Mesa website, isn't it?
What is it?
The workshop schedule. Yeah, okay. Okay, in terms of kind of new business or announcements and stuff like that, the Crest Winternship application period, of course, is still open. Okay, we've gone through a lot of applications coming out of the box. We have some completed ones submitted already. So again, the deadline is November 17th, I believe, right? It's on the poster, wherever that is. So please get that done. Do not wait till the last day and come in and ask me if I'll do a letter of recommendation for your Crest application. Okay? And everybody, please don't ask Jorge to do a letter for you. Not because he doesn't write good letters, and I really value his opinion, but he doesn't need to have to do 18 letters of recommendation. Okay, so again, keep that in mind. Use your other faculty. Yeah, I had Jorge back when I had Math 40, so yeah, he knows how good of his. Now you're in Calculus 1B. Somebody else should be able to help you out. Okay. All right. So again, those applications are due on the 17th. I'm going to hold pretty firm on that deadline. Don't come to me on the 20th and say, "Oh, I didn't know it was due." Everybody should know. We'll send out a couple more email notices that is due. I'm trying my best to try to scare up more money to support more students, okay, during the Crest activity and in the winter. We have this winter, and we have one more winter, and it's over, okay? So we're trying to do other things to kind of keep that going. I think it's a good activity. It keeps you guys focused during winter. You're ready to come back to class, and you said, "Oh gosh, all I have to do is take 18 units now. This is a lot easier." SCUR is coming up November 18th. Okay, those people who have signed up and paid their $20 will be registered for the meeting. If you do not pay the $20, I'm not going to register you because I need some guarantee that you will show up. Most people on the list have done that. Okay? Many of you are already registered for the meeting because Dr. Usher over at San Bernardino, he set the deadline as like last week. And I did not give him any names for that list unless you had paid your $20. That, remember, is completely reimbursable. You're not paying any of your registration. Mesa will pay it or Crest will pay it. Okay? It's $60. Did you want to go, Jorge?
No, I'm asking, what are we talking about? What is this?
What's that?
What is it that we're talking about?
You should go
The
with
SCUR,
it.
November 18th.
But what is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
It's the Southern California Conference on Undergraduate Research. It's a big version of what we did here with the students with all their posters and stuff. There's hundreds and hundreds of posters, at least. I don't know how many there are. And we have Brian presenting, we have Matt presenting, we have Alan presenting poster, and we have one more, don't we? Who's there? Oh, Eddie?
Willie.
And we have
Yeah,
Willie.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 5 students presenting. All right. Which is pretty good. That's more. Usually we have one who kind of, oh yeah, I guess I'll try. one thing that's important, if you happen to be presenting, and you're going, there's going to, it's undergraduate research. That means there's juniors and seniors. There's a lot of pretty fancy looking projects, but you realize a lot of those projects, when you go over there and look at them, hey, they've been working on this for a year or a year and a half. You did yours either during a winter or maybe during, a 6 to 8 week summer activity. So, again, go over, be proud of what you present, and hopefully you'll, but be ready to explain what you did. Don't think that you just stand at your poster and nobody will ask you questions. What I'm calling seminars should be starting. I'm going to try to get them started, probably not next week, probably the week after, just in terms of getting everything. And they're going to occur late afternoon, probably at 5 o'clock. These are specific. These are targeting the STEM scholars, but they will be open to all students. I will be getting an announcement out about them early next week. What we're going to be doing this fall is we'll do a series of basically workshops, if you want to call it that, on searching for, finding, and applying for some summer opportunities, i.e. internships. Okay? All of you, anybody who wants to come can come. Okay? It's required attendance of this STEM scholars. Okay? So those who are on the scholarship know who you are, and I hope you can make it. It's a little bit like what we do at the beginning of, or do as part of the internship, but again, this could get more students involved, and we also get a head start on some of these opportunities that are due, like in the first week or 10 days of January, kind of specifically the CCI. But there are opportunities that are now open. If you are interested in internships, please feel free to come and try to get some more information on it. Okay. Now the other thing that's really important is now we're into the UC application period when you can start submitting. Started today. CSU has been open already for all of October, but the UC application period, again, I know there's everybody always hopes maybe they'll extend it or whatever, but get that done. Try to get it, set a target of getting that all completed before, at least before Thanksgiving break. Okay, but maybe shoot for the 20th or something like that, which is about almost when Thanksgiving break is. There are 4 questions, I believe, on the UC applications. Do not be afraid to share those and talk about it with other students, or talk about it with me. Talk about it with Mike, talking about it with Jorge. Okay? Matt, Efren, I mean, just anybody, bounce ideas off. Okay? I don't know what the 4 questions are. There are still some workshops. I think they call them personal statement workshops. I don't know if those will cover those kinds of questions, but November 6th and 16th are the last 2 that are available. Okay? The UC application workshops, there's 2 of those left, one on the 4th and one on the 29th. I find that kind of interesting. Hopefully everybody's got them done by the 29th. The 29th will probably be one. Well, if you haven't started by now, just give it up. Maybe next year or something. I don't know. I'm just But again, do not put it off till, we will have students, I know, in there trying to make sure they get it submitted by, I assume it's midnight on the 30th? Is that what the time is? 11:59 or something? Don't test that deadline. Okay? I know from what Hillary told me this morning, they've already announced that they're extending the deadline for people or for students affected by the fires in Northern California. So if you can figure out some way you were affected by the fire, maybe you could figure out a way to apply a little bit late, but that's probably not a good idea. All right, and one last thing, or actually 2 last things, and you'll probably have one more thing later on. I had one person who's stepped up so far.
Where'd he go?
To actually give a talk. It's one of our full-time temporary geology instructor. I don't know how to say Jason. I don't know how to say his last name. Aflinapp or something. Okay, Jason A. We'll call him. He's going to do something related to historical geology because we're going to offer that course for the first time in the spring. He kind of wants to promote it a little bit, so it's a good opportunity, and I think he'll do a very good job. I think it'll be a great presentation. It'll be something a little different than what we generally had probably during our science and math lecture series. We've had some maybe more general ones. This one will be general, but I think he's going to be promoting that course, so he'll probably be kind of fired up about it. I'm thinking right now we'll probably be doing it 2 weeks from today is what it looks like. It might be a good day because he cannot do Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I'm gonna go for doing it on a Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Now the problem might be finding a room, which means it may end up in here and just crowded or whatever. Okay, so realize, kind of keep a watch out. We'll get some flyers up as soon as I kind of finalize the date, time, location, title, and abstract. He will, okay? So keep that in mind. It's a good experience. It's another thing to write in your applications to four-year schools. Yes, I regularly attended all the science and math lecture series I had a chance to attend. Wow, how many there were? Yeah, they're not gonna. Nobody's gonna know how many. You know, they might think, wow, they might do that on a weekly basis. Schools do that. Grad schools, you know, where they do it like on a weekly basis. Every Friday afternoon, there's another talk by somebody. Grad students get a lot of experience that way. You know, and realize, you know, grad school might have, you know, a couple hundred students who kind of have to cycle through. So they have plenty of people to give these sorts of presentations. And last, for me, but certainly not least, we had a couple students attend a Mesa Student Leadership Conference this past weekend over in Los Angeles. And I have a special certificate I'd like to present to each of them, if they're here. Rudy is
Right here.
Rudy's right there. I'm sorry. I was looking up too high. We have Rudy attended, and I heard nothing but good things about Rudy. No,
Cool.
not actually.
Thank you, Dr. Farmer.
Just so you feel a little bit better.
Which one is it?
And Christina. I was going to frame them and stuff like that, but I couldn't find any frames in my office except kind of ratty looking ones. So, and again, last but not least, we have Brian and Ross. Any of you guys want to comment briefly on what you felt about that activity? Because they might do it again in Southern California next year and invite us again. It was the first time we had the opportunity to bring any students, and a lot of the idea of this is for them to go to the activity, maybe bring back some information that you might find useful.
Yeah, so it's a really good convention to go ahead and meet professionals there. Also to communicate with other students from different colleges and universities that are in the same field as you. So there's no like social awkwardness. It's just like everybody's got something in common there. So they also have games that you can play to kind of get to know one another and kind of like get to know how to like break the ice. One of the things that they did as a workshop was like a mock interview. So they went ahead and interviewed you like as if you were to actually be in industry. So we did bring some guidelines back with us, so we can maybe eventually have some type of class if you guys are interested in that, to see like what kind of questions they ask. So we have like a guideline of that. And then one of the things I never even knew about that was interesting to me was something that's called an elevator pitch, which is if you don't have it now, something you should look into and actually like practice. It's pretty much a pitch that you talk about yourself in about 30 seconds or less. Just letting you know, just giving the other person information about who you are, what you want to do, what are your goals, just a little bit about yourself. And I had never had one before, I never even heard about an elevator pitch, so now I'm going to practice on that. But it was a good convention overall.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Brian or Rudy, you have any comment?
Some of the other workshops we did that I attended was Who's the Boss, which we actually talked with people who built their own companies and had a couple companies, and they told us like some of the struggles, some of the they always talk about feedback. Getting feedback is the most important thing when you're trying to build a company, so you can better it or change it to how you want your company to be. And so that was really good information on getting ideas on if you want to make your own company and stuff like that. Another one that I did was a LinkedIn workshop. And this was actually one of my favorites because the guy, Oscar Garcia, he was like super energetic and he gave a lot of good advice. He said that everyone in a professional business should go through LinkedIn and you can connect with a lot of other people. You can it's like a kind of like a Facebook but for professionals, and you put up all your achievements and stuff like that. You can I connected with at least like 50 or more students there and industry people as well through LinkedIn. So that was another really good workshop. And I also did the mock interview, which I got a lot of good feedback on that. One thing I recommend for that is most of the time, I have the paper at home, but I'm gonna make copies for everyone. And they said that they ask similar questions, kind of like what you're gonna be asked in your personal statements. And what she said is always have 7 examples ready before you go into any interview. So if they ask you any of those questions, you can kind of play around with the examples you have and are not like on the spot and like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking. You know, you don't think of the experience at the time. So that was a really good information that I got from that. And another thing I did was they had a video challenge. It's kind of the elevator pitch, but they give you a minute to do it, and you pretty much just record yourself. Me and Rudy actually both submitted it, and we recorded ourselves and we talked for a minute about who we were and stuff. And I actually was one of the 10 semifinalists that got to perform or was selected. And then that was like the first event we did, and we actually all the 10 semifinalists, they played our speech to everyone, and there was 3 judges. So they kind of did it like The Voice, where the judges like turn around and they like you. So I was chosen by a guy from SoCal Edison, and the other contestants went to the other people. There was someone from Facebook and someone from Cisco. Those are 3 judges, and so they took us for 30 minutes to prepare the speech again, and then we all had to present it out loud to everyone. And the students there were the people who voted through.
They voted live, right?
Yeah, they voted live. And then at the end, the next day they announced the winner, and that was actually this girl from UCLA.
Zoe, right?
Zoe, and her and this other guy did really good. I gave it my best, but they did really good. They were super energetic and had a lot to say. But so you guys, we put up these videos on YouTube. So if you guys kind of want to see our videos and you guys want to go next year, then that'll give you an idea of like how to set up the videos. And it was a lot of good experience, a lot of good connections. Definitely recommend it for anyone who wants to better themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and just to put it out there, really put it out there, a lot of engineers, way over 50% were electrical, mechanical, civil. So I mean, that's a really, really good thing to put on your resume if you're an engineer. It's insanely important.
Yeah, and as you probably picked up from what Brian said, it's a blend of community college and four-year school students. It's not just community college students. So you're meeting, and if there happens to be a competition, you're competing against all of them, okay, if you happen to get involved in any of them. But you also get a chance to interact with them. You get, some of them are transfer students and stuff. I thought the worst thing they did with the guy who was their keynote speaker on the last night, though, he talked about, he was good in one sense, but he talked about, he was like, he might identify with maybe half the students out there. They were four-year school students, but he didn't go to a community college. He talked about how tough it was when he went to University of Southern California. Okay, well, that's not a tough school to go to in the first place. If you go to USC, you're in pretty good environment. Going to a community college and then transferring, I would have rather heard somebody talk about that experience. And I know we have a lot of great ones. We have some great ones from here that I'm sure would come back and speak at an event like that in terms of what they're doing. Okay, I'll embarrass Jorge. Jorge's not working in the industry, is they generally want somebody to come up because, like Rudy said, there's a lot of engineers there. But Jorge's story is much more compelling than a story about some kid who started at the University of Southern California. Whether he's Hispanic, African American, or Caucasian, it doesn't really matter. Okay, it was a good presentation in terms of his experience. He's had a lot of great experience and stuff like that, but I would have rather see, if they want to do it that way, maybe split it into two speakers, somebody more that a community college student can identify with.
Different points of
And
view.
I already kind of had that conversation with him, so I don't feel bad kind of sharing that with you. I want somebody that you guys can identify with, that you can get to the same point that he did. Okay. All right. Well, it's club time. I'll turn it over. Oh yeah. All right.
We have a new faculty, a new math faculty president.
Do we have another faculty in here?
She's right here, Donna.
Oh. This is I have to. I'm embarrassed. I don't know the name. No, don't know her name.
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
Your name.
Donna Blanton. Hi.
Hi.
Donna, how are you?
Well, thanks for coming. You learn about this. You learn about all the great kids. These are the ones you want to start. Oh yeah, I got some of those in my class this time. No. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Brian. He's kind of the club. He's the head of the Mesa Club, and which also kind of makes him. He's kind of the head of. He oversees all the other clubs. No, not really. He thinks he does, so we'll let him think.
So just I want to rephrase something I said on. We do put up videos on YouTube. So these videos Rudy's recording, and he's gonna put them up on YouTube. So if you know anyone that wants the information and can't receive it, and they want to watch the videos, we're gonna put them up for every meeting. And he's also gonna do what is it? The time. Time snips? Time
yeah.
snips where like we'll talk about like at this time, I talked about this, and this time Dr. Farmer talked about.
So if you're just interested in like a certain part of the video, you can just skip to that, watch it, and you're done. You don't have to watch the whole thing.
Will they be captioned?
I can put subtitles if you want.
Yes, please.
Another thing, yeah. So if you're not receiving emails, please let us know, one of the officers, or let Hillary know, or any of the other workers here, so we can make sure you guys are getting all the information. We do recap everything we have at the meetings on these emails, and we also, if anything that isn't said in the meeting that comes up shortly, we'll announce it on the emails. So please let us know if you're not getting emails. Also, make sure that we do have a new email, so make sure you add us. Mesa Club at collegeofdesert.edu. So make sure you have that as a contact, so you're getting the emails automatically. Next, we have our Mount Wilson trip. It's going to be December 5th. It's a Sunday. It's going to be $20, and you have to bring your own lunch. We will provide the ride there and the ride back. It's from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., so we'll most likely leave here around 7. And so the sign-up sheet's over here. We do have a couple people signed up, and the $20 we would need by November 15th. So we know how many people are going, and we can let the instructor know. And this is a STEM it's like a whole event, like a whole program. They're gonna go through the whole campus. They're gonna explain a lot of stuff. So you're gonna get your money's worth in this trip. It's for a 60-inch telescope they have there. Albert Einstein uses telescope. A lot of famous scientists use
Edwin
telescope
Hubble.
to find and say that again?
Oh, Edwin Hubble, remember? Expanding
Edwin
universe
Hubble
thing.
as well. So this is a great trip if you like, looking at the stars or want to know more. Definitely sign up.
How many people can go?
Right. There's only the cap is 15 people. So if you really want to go, please first come first serve with the $20, and the deadline's on the 15th of November. Okay. And lastly, we're doing a Secret Scientist. So it's gonna be the max. It's kind of like Secret Santa. We're gonna do sign-ups are over here as well, and it's gonna be $10 max. So the event's gonna be after finals. We're gonna have a potluck. We're gonna play volleyball over here at the park. Everyone's gonna get together. We're gonna pass the gifts out and everything. And then at the next meeting, we want to know how many people are interested. And at the next meeting, we're going to give you like a little piece of paper so you can write your interests and stuff. so then we can pass around and see who you get for Secret Santa. And that's pretty much about it. So pass it to Eddie.
So, just a few things for the Bio Club. We scheduled our next meeting for Wednesday the 15th at 12:30. It's in the Bio Lab, which is MSC 201. We're gonna go over, we're gonna finalize some details. Is it?
Oh, yeah, well,
In the biology lab?
that's not solidified, but in terms of the presentation.
Oh.
Science
Well,
lecture in the biology club meeting.
What's that?
Science lecture series at the biology club.
Well,
we might push this to next week. We'll find out. So, if you're getting our emails, let us know. If not, talk to me, talk to Crystal, any of our other officers for BioClub. But yeah, one thing I was going to mention is that we've finalized the details for Body Worlds, and we are taking last minute people who didn't pay because a lot of people had trouble coming up with it. It's only $12. But yeah, if you've already signed up, just let one of us know. Chemistry Club, our meeting is going to be on the 29th of November. We're going to talk about Scripps Trip, which is going to be on the 18th. If you are not signed up for either one of those clubs and you'd like to, talk to me, talk to Crystal. I'm vice president for both. Question.
The 18th for what month?
For Scripps. The 18th of December. So that's the first Monday after finals.
Okay.
That's all we have.
Hey everyone, I'm Ivan Lopez, the Computer Science Club president. Not much to talk about this week. The past few meetings have been very successful. Lots of people showing up. It's been going pretty great. Last week we joined up as a group and solved a few problems as a kind of like a demonstration of how competitions go. We had a lot of fun doing that. Big announcement though. We have 3 teams now going to the big programming competition over at the Riverside Community College. The ICPC is what it's called. We'll be doing that November 11th. And wish them luck, I guess. It's pretty much all of today's news.
Next week, if you guys are interested for the Computer Science Club, the meeting we're having on Thursday at 11 a.m. South Annex 13. We're gonna be doing a workshop on GitHub. And so if you're into computer science, GitHub is a kind of an important tool to use for your career. So make sure to come if you're interested in that. And also, code is this Friday, starting at 4:30, not 3:30. 4:30 B7. So this Friday B7, 4:30, and we're working on pies, I believe. So if you come in, then we'll have food, just like we have here in Mesa, and then that's pretty much it. And so, thank you.
do we have a astronomy club?
Meeting next week for astronomy club, and that's it.
What time, Dave?
Huh? 12:30.
Do we know?
Monday.
Mike, do you know? No.
Where is it at?
Science 14. And that would be all the
You
information we
just
have.
show up on Wednesday all day in Science 14 and they'll be
Yeah.
sometime during that day.
Monday.
Did you say?
Monday.
Monday.
Oh,
Monday.
All right.
12:30.
We'll get the word. Make sure that
They'll
we
discuss the
schedule it.
aftermath of the Star Party. I wasn't there for. I was at the leadership conference, so even I don't know. That's why I can't talk on their behalf. But
How did that go?
I don't
Were
know.
you even here?
I wasn't. I was.
There's not even any rumors of what happened.
I haven't heard anything.
Oh, okay.
It was beautiful.
Okay.
You went? You want to tell us about it?
It was actually beautiful. It was just tremendous. And kind of like Trump would say, yeah. Couldn't have been a better one. It was the largest crowd ever at a Star Party. Are we missing any clubs? No. Okay. Anybody have anything else for the day? Yeah, Mike.
So, one of the counselors just dropped off a toy drive box. We have it
Oh.
here on display, but it's a toy drive for foster kids. And they asked that you donate new toys for kids anywhere from 8 months old to 18 years old. So I know asking college students to donate toys is a hard thing, but if you've ever seen the look on a foster kid's face who receives toys, it makes it all worthwhile. So we'll have that here all month, next month.
Yeah.
Donate to new toys.
And you can also put that in your personal statements that you help the community by donating toys as well. So that looks good on your resume.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Mike. I didn't see him come in. Okay, so anybody have anything else? Again, community service, community involvement is always important. It doesn't look like a science day is going to happen this semester, as it's looking right now. It's getting more difficult for the schools to come over here, other than on Friday, because the only day we can really conceivably do it is on a Friday, and it's even kind of complicated then because students are getting to class and stuff. Some schools have asked if we could come out. The only time we can go out is during January when there are no classes, and it kind of works out with the internship. It doesn't mean you couldn't participate in those. I would again invite anybody who's interested. When we do start any of those activities, those are great things to include on your resume and your applications, scholarship applications, and so forth. Internship applications, okay? So keep all those things in mind, jot them down. Don't, nothing is too small to be insignificant that you're doing, okay? And if you're looking for other opportunities, if you're close to some school, ask if they want anybody to come, and maybe you can just do some after school activity once or twice at the school, just assist them and stuff. So community service is a very big part of, being awarded scholarships and things like that. They want to see that if you make it, you're willing to give back. Okay? All right, if nobody has anything else, there's a lot of pizza left. Grab another slice of pizza. If you did not sign in, please sign in on your way out. I guess that would be signing out, would be a simpler way to put it. But I don't want everybody to sign in and sign out. Never mind. All right, thanks for coming. Next meeting will be probably about, on that Wednesday in December, or Tuesday or Thursday, one of the, we may move it. All right?